We started this thing, I kid you not, with a $1,200 beat up Dodge Dakota with a used Facebook marketplace ladder rack. I mean, honestly, I think we had $1,500 in our first truck.
All right, what is up, everybody? We're back again today, and today I'm fortunate to have Thomas Holly with Hollywood Garage Doors. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Thomas?
Doing well, doing well. How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. So I know on your Facebook page it says you're in Georgia, but the website says Chattanooga. So you cover a pretty big area, right?
We cover about a 50-mile radius.
So how long have you been in the garage door business?
I've been in the industry 35 years. I started as a technician for a commercial door company. Was a welder fabricator by trade, and they were looking for somebody to come in that knew how to weld. They said, we can teach you garage doors, but it's kind of hard to teach somebody how to weld. Either you know or you don't. So I started with them, worked for them for about 5 years, had an industrial accident. After I recovered from that, my wife was like, I don't want you working 20 feet in the air anymore. I want your feet on the ground. So I went back to the fab shops and machine shops and started doing residential repair as kind of a side gig. And over the years, it just grew and grew, snowballed into a full-time job now.
So when did you open your own company?
I ran it as a Craigslist ad just as a side gig for about 20 years.
Really?
And as I said, it snowballed to the point where I was at work turning down work. It would pay me more than I was making while I was working. So it was just like, this is a no-brainer, guys. I got to go.
And what year was that? So what year did you kind of leave?
That was 2016.
2016. Okay. Wow, that's awesome.
In 2016, and it was me and a part-time guy and an old beater Dodge Dakota for a service truck. And over the years, we've grown into where we are today. My wife's come out of the office where she used to work at. She's running the office, taking care of the books and purchasing, scheduling. I'm doing service, sales, networking. Got one full-time service tech, and then I've got 2 guys that run installs.
Okay. So you don't hear the word networking a lot. It's like everyone always talks like, oh, it's all internet, but that in-person connection still means a lot. What I noticed on your Facebook page, you guys are doing the home show. You're winning a bunch of awards for Best of Georgia and stuff. What do you guys do for networking and being out in the neighborhood?
Well, we get out and we do a lot of community events. Like we sponsor high school girls softball team. We sponsor a high school football team. We sponsor local Girl Scouts. We try to stay, close knit with the community, supporting our local community. We do all the small town. We live in Ringgold, which is kind of a small town, and we'll do the parades 2 or 3 times a year. We'll carry our trucks with our lists on the trailer and throw out candy for the kids. I'm in a B&I. We got another one of my techs is also in another B&I chapter. We deal with the Chamber of Commerce here in Catoosa County. Like there's Nooga Networking is another group in the area where, local business owners come together and we network. There's a lot of networking events around the Chattanooga area where you get out and meet people. I really haven't seen where digital marketing or radio advertising or print advertising or TV ads really doesn't generate that much revenue for us. It's more of our referrals are word of mouth and, or true referrals from, hey, this is who we've used. We do a lot of builder work. About 75% of our work is custom home builders.
Okay. How long have you been in B&I?
We're working on our 3rd year with B&I.
Okay. And it has, that B&I is kind of like, love it or hate it. I was in B&I for many years. So B&I is good for you guys?
We do get a lot of work out of it. It's a double-edged sword because you've got to give up that 2 hours every Wednesday to go to your meeting. But I kind of look at it this way as I'm investing my time like I invest my money. 2 hours every week might turn into like I got a referral out of someone in B&I just last week. We closed a $16,000 job.
So for everyone who's watching or listening who doesn't know what BNI is, it does come up on the show a lot. BNI stands for Business Networking International. There's thousands of chapters all around the world, and it's a 90-minute meeting every week. And when you join, you're committed. Like you can't miss a meeting, and you basically are with other professionals in your geographic area. And it's one person per seat. So you'd have a realtor, insurance agent, a builder, auto mechanic, HVAC, garage door. And there wouldn't be another garage door guy in there. And you are training these other professionals to how to like bird dog and look out for you and be like an extended sales team for
Yeah.
you.
Every Wednesday, I sit down with 32 sales reps
Yeah.
for an
So you're in a
hour.
big group, 32. That's a good group. Yeah.
And, we picked, whenever I first started, it was small, like there was
Mhm.
like 12 or 14 of us, and it was mostly white collar. So I will say this to you guys out here trying to build your business and you get into a BNI, go around and visit them, find one that's trade heavy, because the more tradesmen there are in there, the more referrals you'll get from your tradesmen. Realtors are good referral partners as well, because they're in and out of homes all day, every day. And if they've got a house on the market and it's got a crappy garage door, you can explain the fact that a garage door will give them a huge return on investment come appraisal when they put that house on the market.
So
Because most
your VNI is pretty pretty trade heavy. That's good.
Well, yeah, it's finally got, it's kind of turned around. We're kind of half and half.
Half and half.
We've got the investor, or the goodness call it, I'm drawing a blank here.
Like
Your
the banker.
financial advisors, your
Yeah. Yeah.
insurance agents, your coaches, your, kind of the white collar folk.
Mhm.
But then, we've got now we've brought in a plumber and an HVAC guy and a septic guy and
Yeah.
a ground clearing guy. We got a contractor and a painter and a roofer. And so, like, we're averaging about 2 million a year out of our
Oh, you got a
chapter.
good chapter. Yeah, I was in a contractor focus heavy chapter, and it made a difference because I'll talk to other guys that do what I do, and they're like, BNI stinks, and I'm like, I don't know. Either you can't get up and speak clearly for 60 seconds, or you were with the wrong people.
Well, I mean, I joke around and say BNI is kind of like AA. It only works if you work it.
That's
Get
right.
in there and make the connections, go to the after hours events, and, because you're building, it's a relationship. You build a relationship with the people in your group and, build the trust, you know.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening who's trying to go out on their own, or you just started your garage door company, man, BNI can absolutely be a bag of money for you. There's no question. If you go in there and be genuine and just make those connections. Now is your BNI in Chattanooga or in Georgia?
It's in Chattanooga.
Okay,
About I'd say about 70% of our work's in Tennessee, Southeast Tennessee.
okay. And so you're like what, 20 miles from
No,
Chattanooga?
I'm like, my shop is 4 miles from the
4
state.
miles. Okay. Oh, you're real
I'm
close.
actually 4 miles from, if anybody's familiar with the Chattanooga area, I'm 4 miles from the I-75 I-20 split, the
Okay.
headache that is.
Yeah. If
If
anyone's
you've
gone
ever
from
driven through Chattanooga, you know exactly what I'm talking.
Yes. There's never been a time when there's not traffic going to Nashville that way. That's for sure. I want to go back. You said about TV and digital marketing. So I love hearing all the different perspectives. For me, we're like, all on the digital side, but I know that it doesn't always work for some people and there's different ways to
Sure.
measure it. But tell me your experience with that, so what prompts you to say that? I want to hear
Well,
the nitty gritty. I want to hear like, oh, I wasted money. I spent money on Google ads. Tell me all of
yes and yes.
it.
You spend money on these Google ads, click per lead and all this, that, and the other, and you pay $15 for a lead for somebody that's price shopping, and you get, they click on you, they call you, I'm wanting a price on a garage door opener. Okay. We give them the price. They hang up. We never hear back from them. And it just cost me $10 to answer the phone. And I'm like, I'm just throwing money away at this point, because these, a lot of them aren't converting. They're out there price shopping,
Okay.
and they realize that, well, I can go buy a cheap box store operator for $185 at Home Depot and spend half a day putting it up myself, versus paying us $600 to come out and put in a quality, contractor grade lift master that's got all the bells and whistles, and we're in and out of the house in 45 minutes.
Do you think there is though a place to run Google ads, or are you totally down on it? Did you see any benefit from it?
Yes and no. To me, I really never saw that much of a return on it.
Mhm.
It wasn't the cash cow that it was it was claimed to me to be.
Did you run the ads yourself or did you work with a company?
I worked with a company, and I think it was a lot of it was part of the company.
Hmm.
If you're going to get into a digital marketing group, you got to get in with the right one that's actually going to give a crap for lack of a better
Yeah, no.
word. At the end of the day, you know, it's our money we're invested and we want to see a return on it. And when you drop, $1,000 a month or more on this digital marketing ad campaign and Google ads and da 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 da, and you don't see, because whenever we get a client on the phone, how did you hear about us? I looked you up on Google. I heard about you on Reddit. Chat GPT gave us, you as one of the local garage door
Oh,
companies.
so you're getting some leads from Chat GPT, right?
We've gotten, I think, 3 in the last month.
Now, why do you think that is? Did you guys do something, or just because you've been around for so long and you got a ton of good reviews?
A lot of it, I think, is just because of our footprint. As I
Mhm.
said, I started the thing 25 years ago, or actually almost 30 now. I've been in the industry, but I started it like 25 years ago. And it's just, slowly grown itself into what it is today. We have a lot of community involvement. We post locally on neighborhood Facebook sites that
Mhm.
will allow us on their site. We don't spam them. We'll do a once a month post, and we'll offer, say, a gated community. We'll offer them a 15% discount on new doors and openers. You call us, tell us you're in Winstone for the month of February and March, you're getting 15% off your new door purchase.
And did you get a good response from that?
Yeah. Because
So you
people are,
said 60 or 70% is new doors with builders or custom
yeah.
builders. So you're in a great area, and I know a little bit where you are, that there is a lot of building. So what with the builders on the custom side, they're not putting in the bottom barrel cheap stuff. Like you're doing some nice doors. Looked on your Facebook page. You're
Oh,
doing some.
yeah. We don't, I try to stay away from the track builders.
Mhm.
Because they're searching for price, and they want a bargain. I'm offering a service. When that builder calls our office, they get either me or my wife on the phone. Not getting an answering service. They're not getting somebody that I'm paying $10 an hour to answer the phone that's not going to give me the message. You're talking to a vested individual in the company, and so we make sure that when you call, we take care of you. We make sure that our guys get out and service you. Our service schedule is day to day.
Mhm.
Like if you call me at 8 o'clock in the morning and say my spring's broke, I can have a guy out there by lunchtime usually, if not
Wow.
sooner.
You always say your guys are answering the phone. So I'm talking to a lot of companies that are switching to an AI receptionist with mixed reviews. And I mean, we help people do that too. But I know me personally, I can't stand picking up the phone and having an AI. Even though we do it, like I can stand it beyond belief. I was just trying to make it.
I've gotten on the phone with, and when I pick up the phone and say, "Hello, Hollywood Doors, how can we help you?" I hear the words, "Thank God you're a human."
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's our age. I don't, I mean, I'm all into the technology. And, like I said, I was trying to make a appointment for an oil
There's
change
a
for my
time
son's
and
car.
place for it.
Yeah.
Customer service should be, I hate to say it, me being old school, I'm fixed to turn 59 years old. Me being old school, if I call someplace, I want to talk to somebody. I don't want
Right.
a computer. I don't want to be run through 14 different prompts till I can finally get somebody on the phone.
How competitive is it in your area? So, I mean, Chattanooga is a big city. So how many door companies are around you?
I think the last count was like 9.
Okay. And you
It's a
got a couple of the,
saturated market, not counting the Chucks and the trucks.
right.
There's like 9 full-blown companies,
Okay. So you got the
and there's
franchise.
probably 5 or 6 Chucks and a truck out here
Mhm.
running around.
And what do you, I mean, when you say the chuck and the truck, we all know what that is, but what franchise guys do you have in your area? You got Precision, I'm assuming.
We've got Precision, we've got Overhead Door, Chattanooga Door used to be Wayne Dalton of Chattanooga. Northgate Door, they're a local family-owned company, but they've been in the area for
Mhm.
decades. Access Door, he's been in the door business for years. Had 4 new guys come in and start their own business within the last couple of years that are,
Are you in a growth mode now? Are you trying to add some more technicians and more trucks on the road?
well, I've got a truck sitting idle right now. If I had to work, I'd put somebody in it.
Okay.
And I got a truck sitting in the yard that is ready for a technician. We just don't, We don't have the work for it.
Gotcha. So what's the plan for that? Like, are you like, okay, I got the truck, I'm committed to growing, I'm going to try to do more, or is it just if the business comes along, like what do you guys kind of do to make that phone ring?
Just get out and hustle, do more networking, do more marketing. I'm in the process of shopping around, and we're going to try and revamp our website. Our website's 10 years old. So,
Do you feel that's interesting? So with all the new guys coming in recently and the franchise guys, you feel like you have to make more of a push with your website now and be a little bit more modern?
yeah. And I know what helps us a lot is, I try to push more social media content, and I see that coming across as, an uptick in our sales.
You do a good job on that. I mean, I commend you on that. I look at people's Facebook stuff and the owner's never there or no live videos or no actual videos. So that's great. I mean, do you like when you were at the home show recently, I guess that was last week and you were announcing the winners, do you care about getting on camera and hold out your phone and doing it? Was there did it take you a little bit to get used to that?
A few years ago, yeah, I was kind of nerve-wracking to do it. Now it's like whenever I joined BNI, I didn't like getting up front speaking in front of everybody.
Right.
Meeting one-on-one with somebody and selling the garage door, that's easy. Getting up in a room full of 20 people and trying to tell them, you know, what you need for your
Mhm.
company this week, brings out a little bit of anxiety.
Cool.
But now it's just kind of become second nature. I mean,
So
Saturday,
for you guys, I'm sorry, so what do you're checking out companies. What do you look for when you're hiring in one of these marketing companies?
I want to get in. I want to hear from their end users and see what kind of
Results.
results they've gotten from it.
Yeah, it is. So are you guys also trying to get more reviews? I mean, you have a lot. So what do you ask for reviews all the time? And are you using?
We started using Jobber as a CRM,
Mhm.
and it's been a game changer for us here in the office as far as tracking stuff. Used to, it was all on paper. And there's a whiteboard behind me that we used to move pieces of tape across the board to quoted or no, needs to be quoted, waiting on approval. And you just move this piece of paper all the way across the whiteboard till it gets to the end, to the follow-up part, and then we'll call in and ask for a review. Well, now with Jobber, you start with
Does-
an assessment, and I can go out and do the assessment, enter the notes, take the pictures, and then send it in to the office. My wife will take that assessment, get with the client, figure out what kind of door they want. She'll turn it into a quote. She'll send it over to them. Once it comes back as an approved quote, it directly goes to a job where we order the door. Once the doors come in, and it tracks the flow where we're not dropping any balls.
And you're tracking where your leads are coming from too, because
Yeah.
Jobber will let you.
And once the job's done, they can, my service tech can take a payment for a service call in the field, and it's post directly to QuickBooks. My wife don't have to sit down and deal with all that, you know. And then once everything's all said and done and the job's complete, then Jobber will actually send them a text message, ask them if they were happy with our services. If there's any issues, please call us back and let us know. And if you would be so kind as to drop us a review. So since we started using Jobber, we've seen our reviews just steadily start climbing. I
With all
think
these
that
years in the
helps a
business.
lot with our Google placement and us coming up on the ChatGPT and
Yeah.
AI searches.
When did you get Jobber? How long ago?
But I think we bought in December, so it's only
Oh
been
wow.
like
So
3
just
months.
recently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that it definitely. I mean, I'm amazed. I mean, I am a note taker. My desk, I still have handwritten notes, but I do use a lot of software. I'm amazed when I talk to guys and they're like, "Yeah, no, I just did it in the last year," and it makes such a difference. I mean,
Oh,
with
yeah.
all these years in the business, what do you think? What's your proudest moment related to garage doors or your business, your company?
The rewards we get every year from the local area. Like
Mhm.
this year we were voted in the top 3 of the best at Chattanooga.
That's cool.
Out of all the garage door companies, and that was a first for us. I mean, we've
Mhm.
been in the running, but we've never hit the top 3. We've been the best regional garage door contractor in North Georgia for the last 4 years running. That means a lot to us because I wanna see I kinda like to see the return on our investment in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? Not the cashing or, making the deposits every Friday is all good and great, but am I really making a difference in my community? And so that
That's a big one. What? What kind of changes? So you've been doing garage doors where you are this whole time, right? So you're from Ringgold, Georgia, and that's where you've been doing it. What? Tell me some of the changes. I mean, you must have 35 years in a business. That's pretty crazy with what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the technology that's in operators nowadays, I mean, it blows me away. I mean, I was back in the day of, contactors and capacitors and stuff built in, all these more or less manual controlled electric operators. And now you've got all the solid state limits and the apps and the cameras and all that. That's been a huge change.
Are you guys installing all? I mean, I know some guys don't like. They say the customers don't want cameras. Some do. I mean, in your area, Georgia, some of you're got some big houses going in up in the mountains and everything.
Yeah.
Second, third home. So I'm imagining you're doing some nice doors and there's some nice motors going on those with all the bells and whistles.
Well, now you can't buy a LiftMaster operator without a camera on it. I've got some customers that are balking at it. And I was like, look, just don't connect it in the app. You don't have to hook it up. They won't be watching you. I promise. Big Brother is not that concerned about what you do in your garage.
That's right. So do you find and you guys will connect it to the Wi-Fi for them and get it all set up?
Yeah, we'll help them get set up. We just ask if they be there because we don't want to know any of the Wi-Fi configurations or anything like that. We'll let them set it up. But most time it's easy enough, unless it's, say it's some old fart like me that's not used to dealing with computers. Most people can breeze through it. The
Get this
MyQ
stuff.
app is almost idiot proof. I mean, if I can set it up, then anybody can.
So you're big on LiftMaster. I always love asking this question of like, why do you like them? And because it's like Ford versus Chevy. I mean, everyone picks the company and that's it. And sometimes they're angry because a rep was mean to them years ago, and that was like, I'll never go back to that again.
I've never really cared for Genie. I've always thought that their product was substandard. I know it's a cheaper product, but you get what you pay for. These folded sheet metal rails that the travelers run in,
Mhm.
they're just first time a heavy door spring breaks and somebody hits the opener and tries to open it, now it folds the rail up. Now they're out. Not only are they out of spring replacement, now they're out a rail on an operator. Lanier, we've just now started going back to the 801s because they're in Lanier, just because they're a cheaper version or a cheaper product than the LiftMaster, and it doesn't have the Wi-Fi and it doesn't have the camera, so it allows the customer to save a little money, but they still get a quality product. The 801's not a bad operator at all. I've used it for years and till we switched over to LiftMaster. I've got such a good deal with LiftMaster that if we have problems with units that are bad out of the box, we don't diagnose them. Snatch it down, put a new one up, stick it in the box, send it back.
On all the on in the Facebook group, I mean, everyone's commenting, and I read the comments too about dead out of the box or all the callbacks and everything. I mean, are you seeing that with the LiftMasters, or do you think some of these guys are just doing a bad job installing it?
No, now I've kind of stuck straight to the 9220s. I
Okay,
mean the 2220s, and really I haven't had that big of an issue. I mean, honestly, we put them up and we go away. I had one that lost its memory. Now, whether it was the homeowner trying to connect to the app and he swore up and down he didn't, but I drove back over and
sure.
reprogrammed everything and everything worked great. But like, well, my wall unit isn't working and my remote's quit. And I was like, okay, so you cleared the codes out of it when you were trying to set up the app. No, I didn't. I wasn't even messing with the app. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think the greatest motor has ever made for garage doors? What's your favorite of all time?
I don't know. I love the 85, the jack shafts, and the 81 600s. I mean, those little motors were tanks. You can go back to the commercial grade operators back in the day, and some of those were hands down better than what we're dealing with now, but they didn't have the bells and whistles that we
Right.
have now.
Are you guys doing commercial doors at all? You guys do any commercial work?
I try to steer away from it just because
Okay.
we're not really set up for it. We do quite a few RV garages and stuff like that. So we'll do the 12 by 14s and the 14 by 14s, and we'll do some of the bigger stuff. With my commercial background, I know how to deal with high lifts and vertical lifts and pitch lifts. So that kind of helps set me away from some of the other manufacturers or some of the other companies here in town as well. I bought a scissor lift 3 years ago because we started doing these RV garages in these gated communities.
Oh, you bought your own. That's cool. Not
Yeah.
rent.
Well, I mean, you're paying $200 or $300 every time you rent one.
Right.
If you, I hate to say it, but if you shop around, I mean, I found one for my contractor here last week. It was a JLG or JGL, whatever. I can't even remember. It was so it's a 20-foot lift, 32-inch wide deck. So you can and the same exact lift I have, and he found it for him for $3,500. Had new batteries put in it less than a
Wow.
year ago.
Yeah, it doesn't make it sense not to buy that.
I mean, honestly, and he was looking for one so he could do the electrical and the lighting in his barn dominium. We just put the doors in, and I was like, "Well, he'll just rent mine." He's like, "Well, I'd rather not just have yours all the way across town and up on the mountain over here." He said, "I'd like to have my own," and I was like, "Well, I know a lot of people. I'll find you one." And I found him that one, and actually
Barn
delivered
dominium. Are you
in
guys doing a
between
bunch
stuff.
of barn dominiums?
Huh?
Are the barn dominiums popular in your area?
Oh yeah.
Because you got a lot of RVs. I mean, it's like a lot of people have.
And the cool thing about our barn dominiums, you can build a little cheaper by the square foot.
Mhm.
You can have a huge garage, and you can have your house in your garage. You
It's
know,
cool.
and actually, I helped one of my brother's friends up in Big South Fork, which up around Jamestown, Tennessee, which is a little over 2 hours north of us. But they're big horse people, so he built I think it was 60 by 100 red iron metal building. We put two big drum doors, one on each side of it. He set it right in the middle of his property. Well, the front 40 foot of it is their house. Kitchen, master suite, which is master bedroom and the bathroom and closet. And they got kitchen down in the living room area, and then they've got two bedrooms and a bath over here. And you go out the back door, and they built a little deck. Now it's dirt floor. The house is poured concrete, poured and stamped concrete, so it looks like stone. You go out the back door, he's got a little deck with his hot tub on it that's inside the barn door.
Oh, wow.
And then sitting in the middle of the barn door is 6 horse stalls.
That's
So
cool.
they keep their horses installed at night, and then they can go out in the morning, hit one of the buttons, and open the barn doors, and the horses go out in this pasture for today. They come back in that night, and they can rotate them from pasture to pasture, and they never get the pasture eaten down so bad that there's no
That's cool.
grass.
What do you think I love it when people have been in the industry so many years. What do you think is the problem with the industry today?
Mm.
It could be your problem. It could be the industry problem. What do you see? We've got a lot of private equity coming in. You got a lot of franchise coming in. We got this technology coming in. A lot of guys are complaining about some of the technology is really not vetted all the way out yet. No support from the vendors. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, a lot of it is, I hate to bash LiftMaster because they've been really good to us. It seems like when new products come out, we're what do you call the test crowd. We're the test market because I don't feel like it's fully vetted before it comes to us.
Do you think the homeowners know too, like when they're buying stuff from the big box stores, that it's not the same thing that they would get from you?
Yeah, they don't. They don't figure it out. Well, Chamberlain Liftmaster is made by Chamberlain. It's the same operator. Well, yeah, it may be the same motor head, but I can't get the same warranty on it. If you go over and you buy that Chamberlain opener, and we come out and put it up for you because they want us to do it because they ain't never done one. I'm like, if I put that up and it doesn't work out of the box, then you got to carry it. Then you've got to either carry it back to Home Depot where you bought it, and then get you a new one and bring it back. And we got to come back out and take care of it. Chamberlain's going to want me to diagnose it. That's what, and now you're waiting for a part. Now you're paying me to come back again and swap that part out.
For LiftMaster, if you did it
For
from you.
LiftMaster I've got LiftMaster parts on my truck.
Mhm.
If I need them, 9 times out of 10, if that unit's less than 6 old, it's coming down. I ain't even gonna take the screws out of the cover. If it doesn't work, it's coming down. We're putting a new one up
Mhm.
because I don't want to. Time's money to all of us.
Right.
You're having to call out of work for me to come over there and work on your garage door. I'm losing money coming back and warrantying stuff. So I want to make this quick and painless as possible for both
Are
of
you
us.
getting price shopped a lot? Do you find people who are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I see it at Home Depot," and what will you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's your answer to that? I mean,
Well, I mean, if you feel like that's the better option for you,
or do it?
then by all means, go right ahead. I know that we provide excellent customer service. If you have an issue with your door that we installed, we're out either that day or the next day. Make sure that, our customer service is spot on.
If you guys just added Jobber just this past year, do you have a database of past clients? Like, were you emailing anyone? Like, did you, send out newsletters or contact people for service before this?
No, but we're that's kind of in our game plan to start implementing come spring. So
But if you were using QuickBooks, right?
yeah.
So you have everyone's email in QuickBooks?
Yeah, everything that came from QuickBooks actually integrates straight
Right.
into Jobber. So all of our past clients are now in our Jobber database,
Mm.
which is nice.
Do you
But
feel like with all the emails, if someone got a door from 10 years ago or a motor for 10 years ago and not, they I think a lot of people don't even realize how advanced the doors are and the motors are and what can be done, opening it from the app and everything. Do you guys like, are you planning on sending some emails out like, hey, do you even know this is available?
uh, that's probably going to be some of the stuff we do. Upgrade to newer technology. It's been 5 years since we installed your door. It's time for at least a lube and tune. Let us come out there and just do an annual inspection on them.
Do you think guys starting up now, is it more challenging than it was, 10, 15 years ago? So if I want to become a garage door installer or I'm a tech already and I'm working with someone, maybe I'm working at a franchise and I'm looking around and I'm done with this. How hard do you think it is for a guy to get going today?
Depends on your market. Chattanooga's saturated. So, I mean, there's just a lot of garage door companies, and I see a lot of people coming in, and they're working just to get the work. And I've compared my quotes with other people, and I'm like, how are they even doing it
Mhm.
for that? The guy told me the other day, you beat my quote by $1,000. I was like, I ain't got $1,000 in it. How
Wow.
did they beat me by $1,000?
They're giving away. Maybe they don't have as many trucks and buildings and stuff. I mean, what a lot of questions that I get emailed to me
Well,
from.
I mean, honestly, from materials to my labor cost, I'm not counting in overhead or anything, just the materials and what I pay my guy to go out and put it up. I couldn't do it for what he said somebody else quoted him. I was like,
Wow.
you're not either number one, you're not comparing apples to apples, or you've got a guy that has no insurance, no, or just will work for beer money, for lack of a better word. I mean,
Well, how did you so when you were doing it is cool to hear people do garage doors on the side. I mean, how many years were you like really, really busy? You had your day job, but you were doing the doors on the side, answering the phone. Like, how long was that going on for where you were like thinking, okay, I might have to do something here?
over the, I guess it was, well, go by, or 30 years, so about 15
And during that time though, you
years ago, it started picking up to where I was doing a couple service calls a week, and I
Mm,
might do an install a month.
okay.
And then it was, 4 or 5 service calls a week, and then maybe a couple of free installs a month. And my second wife and I divorced 13 years ago now, almost, I guess. And I got to dating my wife now, and she was a bookkeeper at a CPA firm, and she was like, "Look, you need to see what you're doing in garage doors here. You need to kind of go legit. Uncle Sam, is going to catch you, and then he's going to go back 10 years, and he's really going to have a field day with you. So let's get you a business license, get you set up." I had a we call it a limited liability policy because it's just to cover my
Mm,
ass if something went wrong. But I really was kind of trying to stay under the radar. Well, we got everything set up. 3 or 4 months, rock solid. She comes to me one night. She goes, okay. She says, it's like this. You can either work in the machine shop, you can hang garage doors, or you can continue to date me. But one of them's got to go. I was like, well, this garage door business is on the verge of taking off, but I don't know if I can make it on what I'm doing in just garage doors. She goes, well, you can. I'm doing your books. I know how much money you're making. She said, and that'll give you time to get out and search more work, help grow the business when you're not stuck in the machine shop from 8 to 4 every day. You can get out and hustle. And so I turned my notice in. 2 weeks later, we went full bore into it. We got our first distributorship was with Pro Door out of Nashville, buying doors from them instead of buying local from a local garage door company that I was buying from it
mm,
before. So I was getting a little better price break because I wasn't paying his markup. And, we just started in a 24 by 24 garage. And
that's
now
cool.
we've got, 1,000 square foot warehouse, got office here in the house. The warehouse is in the backyard. The office is in the spare bedroom. We try to keep, our overhead low. I mean, that's the biggest thing, I think, where I see a lot of the small garage door guys when they try to get started, that they'll go out and buy a brand new truck and they'll go rent an office space and da 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 da, and they'll try to, you know, they'll invest a bunch of money and then realize that the money they've invested, they're not getting the ROI on it, and they end up failing for that.
Is
Whenever
that
we
would you
started,
say is that a good way? Would you advise someone now who wants to start out kind of doing what you did, just do it on the side for a little bit before you jump in?
what you got to build your client base. That's what kept us afloat when we first came out. I mean, when we first started the business, my past client base where it was already calling me
Mhm.
because I've been doing it for 15 years prior. So I already had clients that already knew me, and I'd worked around a couple of builders and a couple of house flippers. And then builders I've been trying to get for years, as soon as they found out I'm doing it full time, okay, we'll start quoting our work. I'm like, well, why couldn't you said that 5 years ago?
Yes, if I was full time, I could have done it. Yeah,
He's like, well, you weren't doing it full time, but we want to make sure you were dead set into doing this. And I'm
you'd be
like, well,
around.
dude, if I'd have known that's all it took, I'd have went full time 5 years ago, you know?
Yeah, that is
But,
funny.
really start slow, don't bite off any more than you can chew as far as debt. We started this thing, I kid you not, with a $1,200 beat up Dodge Dakota with a used Facebook marketplace ladder rack. I mean, honestly, I think we had $1,500 in our first truck, and it
That's the
looked
way
like
to
it,
do it. In
and it looked like it.
2016, actually, that was a good body style Dodge Dakota too.
Well, it wasn't a 2016 in
No, no,
2016.
I'm saying in 2016, we went back. That was cool when they're a little bit rounded, and the 4-wheel drive versions look pretty cool.
Actually, this was the square body Dakota. I think it was a early 90s model.
Oh, those are even better.
The V6
Yep.
five-speed truck.
Oh, that is so much fun. So you started on the shoestring and got it going, and so you've never had to really take on any debt or anything.
No, we built it as it grew. I mean, I was working out of my garage at my house, and as we outgrew it, well, we cleared off a spot in the backyard and poured a pad and put up a metal building. And it's a couple garage doors on it. Now that's our warehouse, and we started packing it out. Well, okay, we got room for we need to, this operator bay can hold garage doors. So we built another little shed off the side of it and made a bay for operators so we can hold garage doors in that bay, and unfortunately, we're probably going to have to expand the warehouse come this summer is probably our
That's a
next.
good problem to have. Are you tracking your leads? So do you say like, okay, I got 22 phone calls this week. My goal is to get to 40, 50 calls a week. I mean, do you plan it out that way?
Really, we don't, not really tracking the number of calls. I do look at our Google Analytics at the end of the month or end of the month when we get those across just to kind of see how we're falling and what I've done that week or that month to try and help drive some sales. But we do, when we get the customers on the phone, that's, one of the last things we ask is, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you hear about me? Well, I just searched garage doors on Google or, I I put a little Facebook post up and everybody in my neighborhood said, "You're the guy to call."
Now that is
So,
gold. I'll tell you. I mean, being active on Nextdoor and on Facebook and all those groups, man, it really, really makes a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
whenever and, as I said, I've been doing it for so long, whenever somebody posts in Windstone neighborhood Facebook group, "I need a spring on my garage door, bro. Who do I call?" Well, 10 or 12 of the residents in that neighborhood have used me in the past already. Well, you gotta use Hollywood.
That's cool.
And then whenever you start seeing those, when you're tagged 6, 8, 10 times in one post, that's got maybe 20, 25 comments on it,
People know
that
you're the guy. How did you name it Hollywood? I mean, I know your last name's Holly. Was that a nickname or how'd that come
that
about?
is actually my nickname.
Okay.
My biker buddies call me Hollywood, so
Oh,
that's
that's cool.
how I got there.
Man, you got a lot of info. Well, tell me a garage door secret. And we'll end on that. What's some great advice from 35 years in the business?
Run, don't do it. I swear.
Why does everyone say that? That's actually what I say too sometimes.
I mean, you want to be your own business? You want to own your own business? Get ready to decide which 80 hours of the week you work because you're going to. Nobody cares about your business but you. Hire folks and don't be scared to fire folks
That's
with
a good
equipment. If they're not working out after the first week, sorry, this is not a charity. You're running a business. And we will do some kind of pro bono work. Well, I don't like to put it out there because then everybody comes to you with
They
a
won't want.
handout, but we'll work with area teachers. We give, the local first responders and paramedics, firefighters, police departments, we give them a special pricing. Veterans get a discount as well. But, it's not for the faint of heart. Just this past Saturday morning, I get a call at 6:15. I ain't even had my first cup of coffee yet. I'm barely out of bed. And the phone rings and the lady calls and she says, my spring's broken. My daughter has her RN exam today
Huh.
and she can't miss this exam. Is there any way you can get me out of my garage? So at 6:25, I'm pulling out of my driveway on a Saturday morning in the pouring rain.
That's
Drive
what we
over
signed
there.
up for.
Huh?
That's what we signed up for, though. I mean,
Well, I mean,
my
yeah,
kids always tout. They're like, my kids are like, well, why don't I just work with dad? And I'm like, maybe you should just go get your own job first, but see what the real world's like.
yeah.
That's
Because,
cool.
I mean, yeah, of course, I went over there, 16x7 door, still had one spring intact on it. So I was able to get it up, get both of their cars out of the garage. And I had a pair of springs on the truck because I keep stock trucks for service work just because you have to. You can't make no money running back and forth to the shop.
Man,
So
Thomas, you had a lot of advice. Very interesting. Congratulations on all your awards. And it was very enjoyable talking with you.
it was good talking to you too. Reach out again. I'm happy to sit down and just talk with you at any point.
I will do. Appreciate it.